Some people are called to build, others are called to heal. Jeremiah was called to warn, he spoke, but few listened. He loved, but many rejected him. He cried, not because he was weak, but because his heart carried the weight of God's compassion. Maybe you know what that feels like. Maybe you've tried to love people who misunderstood you. Maybe you've spoken truth only to be ignored. Listen carefully. Faithfulness is not measured by applause. It is measured by obedience. Streets were full, yet hearts were empty. The city laughed while heaven cried. Jeremiah stood with trembling courage, holding truth he could not hide. Every warning came from mercy, every tear became a prayer. Though rejected by his own people, God was always there. Jeremiah, don't stop speaking, though no one hears today. Every word the Lord has given will never fade away. The God who called you still walks beside you, even when the road feels long. Faithfulness becomes the victory when love remains strong. Can I tell you something? Jeremiah never saw the revival he prayed for, yet heaven called him successful. Because God does not ask us to control the outcome. He asks us to remain faithful. Maybe your greatest victory will never be seen on this side of eternity, but heaven is keeping every tear, every prayer, every act of obedience. The silence, yet seeds were buried deep below. For every word that God had planted would someday rise and grow. Though the prophet walked in sorrow, hope was never truly gone. For every darkest night must surrender to the coming dawn. Let the accordion weep with heaven, let the organ fill the sky. For every faithful servant has never lived in vain. The God who carried Jeremiah still whispers through the rain. Keep believing, though your tears still fall today. Every faithful step of courage lights another way. The God who knows your hidden story still writes with perfect grace. And every tear you've cried is precious before His face. Do not be afraid if the world does not applaud you. If heaven is pleased, you have already won.
Listen to the silence. Can you hear what faith sounds like when no one is watching? Daniel knew that sound. The decree had been signed. The trap was set. The lions were waiting. And all he had to do was compromise. Close the window, miss one prayer, bow to fear just for a moment. But Daniel had walked too long with God to betray him now. And maybe that is where you are tonight. The pressure says, be quiet. Hide your faith. Do what is easier. Protect yourself. But listen carefully. A prayer whispered in obedience shakes kingdoms louder than any roar of lions. The den may close around you. The darkness may deepen. But God has never lost one faithful servant to the night. Keep your window open. He still sends angels into impossible places.
Filled the royal hall. Yet Daniel knelt before the window, still answering heaven's call. The stones were sealed, the darkness deepened. The lions waited through the night. But something moved inside that silence, a holy presence wrapped. Keep praying, though the darkness closes in. Daniel, keep praying. Grace is stronger than the den. When every voice demands your silence and fear surrounds you like a wall, the God who hears your midnight prayer will never let His servant fall. The lions watched but could not touch him. Their hungry mouths were held in peace. The angel stood in quiet power, and all the threat of death had ceased. Then morning broke, the king came running, and trembling called his servant's name. And Daniel rose Let the accordion loudly proclaim. Let the piano roll like glory, magnifying heaven's name. For the lions bowed in silence, and deliverance quickly came. And the God who walked with Daniel still is mighty, just the same. Daniel, keep praying, for the morning surely comes. Daniel, keep praying, victory has now begun. And when the darkness breaks around you, all the world will clearly see the God who rules above all kingdoms still responds to bended knees. Keep the window open, the lions cannot roar.
There are moments when the heart believes it is too broken to be restored. The son left home thinking freedom was far away, but he discovered that distance does not change a father's love. He walked away from every promise, chasing shadows in the night. Every step felt like a failure, every dream out of sight. When the hunger found his weakness and the silence grew too strong, he remembered love that waited even after he was gone. Run back home, love is calling. No more shame, no more falling. Every tear has been seen. You are more than where you've been. This is the gospel. Not that you find God, but that God finds you. Even when you're lost, the Father stood out on the horizon, watching every passing road. Every day with hope unbroken,
from a son he thought was gone. And love ran faster than the judgment to bring his child back home. Let the accordion cry redemption. Let the organ fill the skies. Love has broken every prison, every chain, and every lie.
Run back home.
Run back home. Grace is waiting. No more fear, no more fading. Every scar will be healed in the arms that love revealed. You are never too far for grace.
Have you ever started strong and then fallen? Have you ever believed and then doubted? Have you ever taken a step of faith only to feel yourself sinking? Peter knew that feeling one moment. He was walking on water. The next moment, he was drowning in fear. And maybe that is where some of you are tonight. You started with faith. You started with hope. But somewhere along the way, the storm became louder than the voice of God. Listen carefully. Peter did not sink because the storm was strong. Peter sank because he stopped looking at Jesus. Was howling through the darkness. The waves were rising all around. Yet Peter stepped beyond the safety where impossible faith is found. His eyes were fixed upon the Savior, and every step defied the sea. For where God's voice begins to lead us, miracles become reality. Peter, keep believing. Though the storm is raging wild, Peter, keep believing. You are still God's child. When fear begins to pull you under and doubt begins to cloud your sight, look toward the one who called you, and he will lead you through the night. Listen carefully. The miracle was never that Peter walked on water. The miracle was that Jesus reached for him when he fell. Because God's grace is greater than your failures,
greater than your mistakes, greater than your fears. The enemy wants you to focus on the sinking, but heaven wants you to remember the hand that pulled Peter back up. In the distance, the sea remained beneath his feet, yet mercy reached beyond the failure and turned defeat into relief. For every soul that feels forgotten and every heart ashamed today, the God who lifted fallen Peter still lifts broken hearts the same. Let the accordion sing redemption, let the slide guitar softly cry, for grace is deeper than the ocean, and mercy reaches every life. The hand that rescued Peter still stretches through the storm, and every heart that calls on Jesus will safely make it home. Peter, keep believing. Though the night feels long and cold, Peter, keep believing. God still holds your soul. The one who calmed the raging waters still walks upon them now, and every storm that faces heaven must eventually bow when you sink. Look up. The hand of Jesus is closer than you think. Look toward the mountain. Can you hear the silence? Not every act of faith comes with celebration. Some climb carrying questions. Abraham knew that climb. Before the sun had risen, he gathered the wood. He called for his son. And step by step, he walked toward Moriah. No explanation, no argument, no resistance, just obedience. Can you imagine what every footstep felt like? The promise of God walking beside him, while the command of God burned inside him. And maybe that is where you are tonight, caught between what God promised and what God is asking, holding what you love while heaven stays silent. But listen carefully. When God leads you uphill, he has already prepared what waits at the top. Keep climbing, provision always lives where obedience arrives.
laughed to stone. The mountain was waiting. The morning was cold. The silence was deep. The promise walked close while heaven was hidden. And Abraham climbed where only faith leads. The weight of the wood rested on Isaac. The weight of obedience burned in his soul. But deeper than fear was holy surrender. And trust kept carrying what pain could not hold. Abraham, keep climbing, though the summit looks unknown. Abraham, keep climbing, faith is never left alone. When heaven seems silent and every answer feels delayed, the God who gave the promise has already made the way. Then came the question that shattered the stillness. Father, where is the lamb for this fire? And Abraham answered through trembling conviction, God will provide what his will requires. The altar was built. The moment was breaking. The heavens grew heavy. The earth seemed to wait. Then mercy came rushing through holy interruption. And grace spoke louder than sacrifice. Abraham, keep climbing, though the summit looks unknown. Abraham, keep climbing, faith is never left alone. When heaven seems silent and every answer feels delayed, the God who gave the promise has already made the way. Let the harmonica cry redemption. Let the accordion softly proclaim. Let the piano roll like thunder, magnifying heaven's name. For the ram was waiting hidden before the trial ever came. And the God who tests his children never wastes their pain. Abraham, keep climbing, for provision waits above. Oh, Abraham, keep climbing on the mountain of his love. And when the silence finally breaks, you will lift your eyes and see the God who asked for everything still gives abundantly. Jehovah Jireh, he always provides. What happens when hope dies? When prayers grow quiet? When dreams become memories? Ezekiel stood in a valley filled with dry bones to everyone else. It looked like the end, but God asked one question: can these bones live? Maybe he's asking you the same thing today. A silent valley stretched before him. Nothing living could be found. Only broken dreams surrounding, scattered all across the ground. Then the voice of God came calling through the silence of despair. Hope awakened in the darkness. Life was waiting in the air. Dry bones, keep listening. Heaven still remembers you. Dry bones, keep listening. God is making all things new. When his breath begins to move, death must lose its claim. The God who spoke creation still speaks life today. Don't call it over if God hasn't finished speaking. He specializes in breathing life into places the world has abandoned. Replaced the fear inside. Every promise long forgotten now stood strong and unified. Then the breath of God descended like the dawn after the night. What was empty now was standing, filled with everlasting life. Let the accordion proclaim it. Let the organ fill the sky. Every heart that feels abandoned can still come back to life. Dry bones, keep believing. Your story isn't through. The God who raised an army can strengthen you anew. His breath is still restoring. His mercy never ends. The God of dry bones still calls dreams to live. If God can raise dry bones, he can restore you. There are moments when faith stands alone, when the crowd chooses doubt, when truth seems forgotten, when darkness appears louder than God. Elijah knew those moments. One prophet against hundreds, one voice against a nation drifting away. And maybe you know that feeling. Maybe you feel alone in your faith. Maybe the world around you has forgotten God's voice. But listen carefully tonight. Truth does not become weaker because it stands alone. And when God chooses to answer, fire still falls from heaven. Upon the mountain stood a prophet with faith burning deep inside. The people wandered far from heaven, following every shifting tide. Yet Elijah kept believing, though he seemed the only one. For he trusted in the power of the everlasting Son. Elijah, keep believing, though the world has turned away. Elijah, keep believing, God still hears you when you pray. When every voice around you says your faith has lost its flame, the God who answers by fire still remains the same. The altar stood in silent waiting. The sky withheld a single sign. The prophets cried throughout the daylight, yet no answer came in time. Then Elijah bowed in worship and lifted up a simple prayer. Suddenly the fire descended and God's glory filled the air. Elijah, keep believing, though the answer seems delayed. Elijah, keep believing, God is making a way. For the God who ruled on Carmel still commands both earth and sky, and every false thing standing must fall before the Most High. Let the harmonica cry revival. Let the organ loudly proclaim. The God who answered Elijah still carries holy flame. For the fire fell from heaven and the mountain shook that day. The God who showed his glory still moves in power today. Elijah, keep believing, for revival still can come. Elijah, keep believing, God's work is never done. The God who answered by fire still hears every faithful cry, and every heart surrendered can see his glory shine. Do not measure God by the size of the crowd. Measure him by the power of his presence. And when heaven answers, fire still falls. There are seasons when life stops making sense, when prayers seem unanswered, when losses arrive one after another, when the night feels longer than it should. Job knew that pain. He lost his wealth, he lost his children, he lost his health, he lost almost everything, but he refused to lose his faith. And maybe that is why God brought you here tonight. Because some of you are fighting battles that nobody sees. Some of you are carrying burdens too heavy for words. Listen carefully. Pain may visit, suffering may linger, but God never abandons his children. Not in the storm, not in the ashes, not in the silence. Sitting in the ashes broken, watching dreams all fade away. Questions fill the empty silence through the longest nights of pain. Friends brought answers without wisdom. Darkness whispered endless fears. Yet beneath the crushing sorrow, God was counting every tear. Job, keep believing, though the answers do not come. Job, keep believing, the story is not done. When every road grows darker and hope feels far away, the God who walks through suffering still hears you when you pray. Listen carefully. Faith is not believing when everything goes right. Faith is believing when everything falls apart. Anyone can worship on the mountain, but Job worshiped in the valley. And perhaps your greatest testimony is being written right now. Not through comfort, not through success, but through perseverance. Then the morning slowly ended through the shadows of the night. God was working in the silence, though concealed from human sight. What was broken was restored, what was stolen was returned. For the God who sees the faithful never wastes the pain they've earned. Let the accordion cry redemption, let the harmonica testify. For the God who carried Job still watches from the sky. Every scar can tell a story, every tear can become grace. And the God who met Job in suffering still meets us in this place. Job, keep believing, though the storm may still remain. Job, keep believing, God can heal the deepest pain. The God who stood with Job still stands beside you now. And every season of sorrow will someday bow. Do not judge God's faithfulness by today's circumstances. The story is not over. The ashes are not the end. God is still writing. God is still writing. Sometimes God calls us somewhere we do not want to go. Jonah knew that feeling. The call was clear. The mission was clear, but fear is a powerful thing. So Jonah ran away from the calling, away from the purpose, away from the voice. And maybe you understand that tonight. Maybe God has been speaking. Maybe He has been calling. Maybe He has been asking you to trust Him. But fear keeps whispering, run. Listen carefully. You can run from places, you can run from people, but you can never outrun the purpose of God. Far from Nineveh he traveled, chasing distance from the call, thinking he could hide from heaven beyond the ocean's mighty walls. But the waves began to whisper and the storm began to rise, for the hand that shaped the heavens still was watching from the skies. Jonah, keep listening, though you're running far away. Jonah, keep listening, God is calling you today. When fear tells you to keep hiding and doubt says turn around, the voice that called you from the beginning will still be calling now. Then the sea grew wild with thunder and the ship began to shake. Every sailor cried for mercy as the storm refused to break. Down beneath the angry waters, God prepared a greater plan, for the purpose God has written cannot be undone by man. Jonah, keep listening, though the darkness fills the sea. Jonah, keep listening, grace is deeper than the deep. When you think your story's over and your failures have won, the God who called you in the beginning still says you are my son. Let the organ loudly proclaim, no storm can stop God's purpose, no ocean can drown His name. For the well became a shelter and mercy became the guide. The God who rescued Jonah still walks beside our lives. Jonah, keep listening, for your calling still remains. Jonah, keep listening, God can use your deepest pain. The God who rules the ocean still commands the wind and tide. And every soul that turns toward heaven will find His arms open wide. Stop running. The storm is not your enemy. The storm may be the thing bringing you back to your destiny.
Have you ever felt too small, too ordinary, too weak? Gideon believed he had nothing to offer, but God saw what Gideon could not see. Heaven never measures your strength. Heaven measures your willingness.
Hidden among the harvest, fear had filled his heart. Yet God spoke through the silence. I chose you from the start. No mighty crown surrounded him, no army at command, only a promise from the Lord and faith within his hands. Gideon, keep believing. God is more than every fear. When heaven fights beside you, victory is near. The few become the mighty when God leads the way. Faith is stronger than the darkness. Light will win today. Sometimes God removes what we depend on, so we discover who we've depended on all along. The battle was never won by numbers. It was won by trust. 300 stood together against a countless sea. With lamps, with faith, with courage, they claimed the victory. The night became a witness. The enemy lost ground, because the voice of heaven is the strongest sound. Let the accordion sing boldly. Let the organ shake the night. The God who called young Gideon still turns fear into might. Oh, Gideon, keep believing. Stand though you remain. The God who wins impossible wars still breaks every chain. Oh, your weakness is the doorway where his power is revealed. Trust the one who called your name. He never leaves the field. Don't count what you have. Count who walks with you. at those prison walls. They seem permanent, cold, silent, unmovable. Joseph knew those walls. He knew betrayal. He knew what it felt like to be forgotten. Sold by his own brothers, taken from his father, thrown into darkness for a crime he never committed. And maybe you understand that pain tonight. Maybe people misunderstood you. Maybe life has placed you inside a prison you never deserved. Maybe the dream God gave you feels buried beneath disappointment. But listen carefully. God never abandoned Joseph. Not in the pit, not in slavery, not in prison. Because God does his greatest work behind closed doors. The prison was not Joseph's ending. It was heaven's preparation. And the same God who remembered Joseph has not forgotten you. Down in the darkness, behind cold stone walls, a dreamer sat waiting alone. The years kept passing, the silence grew longer, yet heaven still guarded his soul. The chains could bind him, but never his calling. The promise remained in his heart. For God was writing a story of glory. Though Joseph could not see the star, Joseph, keep believing. Though the night feels long and cold, Joseph, keep believing. God still holds the dreams he told. When all the doors stay closed before you and hope feels buried deep inside, the God who planted every promise will bring your destiny to light. Then came the morning when heaven remembered. The prison doors opened at last. The dreamer stood rising from suffering to purpose. The season of waiting had passed. The pit could not stop him. The chains could not break him. The hand of God carried him through. What man meant for evil, God turned into blessing. His promise forever stay true. Oh, Joseph, keep believing. Though the night feels long and cold, Joseph, keep believing. God still holds the dreams he told. When every road seems lost before you and every answer feels delayed, still knows exactly what he made.
Let the harmonica cry for the broken. Let the piano roll like mercy's rain. Let the old church organ testify that God never wastes our pain.
For the prison was a doorway, and the waiting had a plan. The God who lifts the humble still raises fallen men. Joseph, keep believing, for your season will arrive. Joseph, keep believing, the dream is still alive. What God begins, he always finishes. His promises forever stand. And every prison built around you cannot resist his mighty hand.
If God gave you a dream, do not surrender it. The pit was not the end. The prison was not the end. The waiting was not the end. God is still writing your story, and the dream is still alive.